So this week, myself and Gio did sort of cup of tea extra to finish off with the questions that we didn't manage to get through before. And Dom came up with a wonderful name of the dregs of tea, which is obviously the end of the cup of tea, but it's not a particularly nice thing, is it? Because normally it's full of that sort of sludge that you get from dunking too many biscuits. You never finish that last bit of tea, do you? But anyway, there were a lot of comments and a lot of questions in there. But if you remember, just before I get onto the matter at hand, because we are in not quite match day, but match weekend, quite a few people on one of them seemed to notice that I said my toad in the hole was not particularly spectacular. So I've actually received 3 separate recipes for batter and for cooking toad in the hole. And I really do appreciate you sending me those fantastic recipes. But I think you've all got it slightly wrong. I think I'm getting the batter recipe right. I don't think there's a problem with the batter recipe. It's a problem with the chef. I don't mean my wife, I mean me. So, but I thank you very, very kindly for that. So I'm sort of sticking with my you can't go wrong with your reduced quality streak now, can you? But there's no substitute for toad in the hole. Right, it's a funny one this weekend. I don't know why. I'm looking forward to it more than normal. I think a big part of that is the international break. I don't know about you, but this international break feels longer, worse. I don't know if it's the whole COVID thing and the lockdown thing. I really don't know. But football has definitely, club football, has definitely become a little bit more important. I found myself missing it incredibly while it wasn't there. And I do feel timing's quite cruel to us. All the time, actually, at the moment. Whenever we get a sort of little head of steam, a little bit of momentum, we seem to take a break. And I don't think we handle the breaks particularly well, by the way. I think the first lockdown, if you remember, that was, we lost to Wolves. We were awful. Do you remember Traore basically leading? They kept him on the bench, didn't they? Brought him off the bench and he led Aaron Cresswell a merry dance. That was the first one. And then we gradually got better, played okay against Tottenham, and then we were pretty good for the rest of the season. And then, of course, we had the break, the closed season, which was a weird old time, really. But starting a new season, and we played Newcastle, and we were awful, absolutely terrible. But it was weird. And then, again, our form started to pick up. And I don't know what it is. We don't seem to lull that much. But there does seem to be that instant reaction is not particularly good after a break. So I do hope that that's not the case. And I think it would be very West Ham to lose against Sheffield United. And I know that we said that against Fulham, because obviously we've had the good results against Leicester, Wolves, and then a very good performance against Manchester City, and then what you'd say a spirited performance against Liverpool, even if the points didn't go our way. But it would definitely be very West Ham to have then lost against Fulham. But the more I look at it, I think actually this is the one. If we can win this one, I'll start to believe. I don't know what I'll start to believe in, quite frankly. I think I'll start to believe we can finish top 4 or anything like that. But I think it will be the final rubber stamp, the final bit of confirmation that we are a resilient and we are a good team, because I do believe that there is a difference between the sort of lower league Fulham and the lower league Sheffield United, because I think that Fulham have got the soft underbelly. I really do. I think he's trying hard, and I like Scott Parker. We all like Scott Parker, but there's a resilience and there's a grit to Sheffield United, which I can just see them being really, really up for it, and rightly so. And I think if we can get something against them, I just think it shows that actually we can beat some good teams in Wolves and Leicester. We can challenge the top teams in terms of Manchester City and in terms of Liverpool. But also we can then beat the bottom teams, which is not something that West Ham have traditionally done. And that will be a sort of, a football playing tippy-tappy bottom of the league team like Fulham. And then a resilient, nasty, gristly, gruff team built in there. He's like He's like a Sam Allardyce type character, isn't he? Really, Wilder, although his football is probably a little bit more expansive than he is. And I just think it will really cement what we want to do. And I bet David Moyes is as frustrated as anybody that he's had this international break. He's certainly really frustrated with. You could hear it. I don't know if you heard the press conference, but he was full of praise for Declan Rice. You could tell he was genuinely pleased for Declan Rice, but he had to quantify each statement with what he was saying was about Declan Rice's club form and so on and so forth. It was quite interesting, actually. He was at pains to point out that those around him had really helped Declan, and then gave a special mention to Mark Noble, who we will continue to make a special mention of. I'm not entirely sure how much we're going to see of Mark, if the truth be known. I'm really struggling to see a situation where he gets into the team, unless it's, well, I guess it's an injury to Rice or Souček. But if he manages to plug that gap in the January transfer window, then it's not something that I can particularly see. I do think it's the beginning of the end for Mark Noble, and it's and that's certainly a shame for Mark. But obviously he's been an excellent servant. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But he wasn't impressed with that, David Moyes, in terms of the international break. He's certainly not been impressed with the COVID thing. If you listen to everything he's had to say about Yarmolenko, then he's not impressed. Now the Yarmolenko one's a bit of a weird one, because again, Yarmolenko's somebody. As the games have gone on, as the season has gone on, I have almost felt that he's less inclined to use Yarmolenko, David Moyes. He doesn't really. I don't know. It is a funny one. I know everybody would probably say no and we shouldn't do it, but I could imagine if a bid came in for Yarmolenko, this rumoured bid from Turkey, that David Moyes would do it. David Moyes would sanction it. I really do think so. But anyway, it was quite interesting to hear him talk about it, because despite the fact he doesn't use him very much, he was scathing about the fact that he would go off to international duty, pick up coronavirus, and then be unavailable for West Ham. I think something that I wanted to talk about, I've not really mentioned either, was Masuaku's decision. Masuaku's decision not to go and join up with it's Congo, isn't it? To join up with his Congolese. Yeah, say that, Congolese. To join up with his Congolese teammates, and instead remain at West Ham, take his position seriously, and just work hard, is great. It shows great for his attitude, as I mentioned the other day, but I also think it's been really quite a wise thing to do to keep him away from the whole COVID thing, because whether you're ill or whether you're not, you don't want to test positive for COVID. Look, do I think if Masuaku was left out of the team, if Masuaku had to isolate for 2 weeks, do I think he'd get his place back? Yeah, I do, because I don't think there are that many viable alternatives. I don't want to see Aaron Cresswell moved out of that position and into Masuaku's position, because that's, well, for two reasons. Number one, I don't think he can do it. Certainly not as a left wing back. And number two, I like Cresswell in the position that he's playing. But then you've got David Moyes now, who's waiting on even more. He's waiting on even more tests to come back, and we're not. I don't know. Look, I'm doing this Friday night. I'll produce this video and pop it up and list it on Saturday morning. I don't know if the final results come in yet, but we have seen the figures have steadily been going up. It was 16 in the last round, and that has not factored into account everybody that's gone away for international football. So I think that is going to be really telling what happens there on that one. Let's really keep our fingers crossed. I mean, yes, Michail Antonio's back, but realistically, are we going to risk him for 90 minutes? Whether you think he starts or whether you think that he should be on the bench, you probably would all agree that he shouldn't play 90 minutes coming back off an injury. Well, that means we're going to need Sebastian Haller. Let's hope he's not picked up anything nasty when he's played for the Ivory Coast. I say nasty. We'll handle a sniffle. We don't want to pick up the coronavirus. Souček and Coufal, or Souček and Coufal, however you want to say it, they've both played really, really well. Of course, Souček played and scored in the last game. So that's a pivotal part of it. And I think he's really going to be worried until they come through. I'll certainly be breathing a huge sigh of relief. I'm really looking forward to it this weekend. Ogbonna as well. He got selected for the Italian squad but didn't travel. So once again, I think that's fair play to him. I do wonder how injured Masuaku was. I do wonder how injured Ogbonna was. Have they just made the decisions not to go? I probably think so. And good on them for doing that, because I think it shows good unity. I think it shows good spirit. It shows that they are heavily involved in the team. I think it shows that they're fully invested, fully interested. And you know what? These times will come again. I don't think they've missed anything massive. Actually, having said that, I think Masuaku, these times will come again. It probably makes the decision by Ogbonna, bearing in mind his vintage, even more impressive if he's made it and it wasn't a genuine injury, because maybe there won't be too many more opportunities for him to play for Italy. But if he keeps up his form, and his form very much is one of the best central defenders in the Premier League, then he's got every chance of getting back into the Italian team again when the squad's selected next. As I say, could be very West Ham to lose this game, but I think it's going to be really telling. Let's be fair, a Sunday game against Sheffield United, who are one of the bottom teams in the league, shouldn't really be telling us an awful lot about ourselves, but I do think we're going to find out in this game an awful lot about West Ham. The only other thing I would say about this, and I said about our break and how we don't necessarily handle a break well. Our first game back, we're usually quite crap. I'm a little bit worried about Declan Rice in that, because usually when he plays for England, for reasons that are totally understandable, by the way, he comes back a bit knackers. I'm a little bit worried about that. We're going to need him and Souček firing on all cylinders in the central midfield. Maybe his goal has given him a massive boost.
Look, football is private. What goes in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. If you want to know about all that type of thing, then you can read it in my book. I have a paperback in all good bookshops, or of course download it onto your Kindle. But in this instance, when Wayne Rooney came in, I said to the gaffer, he's a wee bit overhyped there. So Alec, I think you need to take it steady with this lad. And, well, he didn't listen to me, and he put him in the team for his European debut. And I remember Wayne scored a hat-trick. And if I'm honest, I thought he was a wee bit fluky. I thought he was a wee bit selfish, and he could have passed it to me on at least 3 occasions. And maybe if he was a truly good, great player, like the likes of the senior players at Manchester United, the likes of myself and me certainly, and I thought we would have got 5 or 6 goals. And I said to Wayne Rooney when he got back in at full time, I said, not a bad performance, Wayne. A hat-trick as a teenager on your European debut for Manchester United, but I thought you could have played better, Wayne. You know, you let yourself down and your family. And Wayne didn't take kindly to this, and I'm not one to talk about what goes on in the dressing room. And I like banter and laughs as much as the next man. I really do. But I get out of the shower and I went to put my socks on, and somebody's put shaving foam in my socks. Well, as you can imagine, my feet are covered in shaving foam, and I don't even shave my feet. I know it was Wayne, so I thought I'm going to take it on the chin, and I thought I took it rather well. But I did feel inclined to tell Rooney's fiancée, Coleen, that Wayne had been sleeping with prostitutes.